All righty. Hello, everybody. This is Jill Lebowski live from the Midlife Mojo page with another episode of Midlife Mojo Mondays. I am really excited to be here. I go live every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for about 15 to 30 minutes. And I just talk about any topic that I think is important on the hearts and the minds of the midlife women to help them thrive naturally. And always, I hope you stick around to the end of the video because I always talk about some either event I have coming up or an offer I'm doing or a giveaway raffle, something going on. So definitely make sure you stay on till the end. And this is my very first live with this new platform, Be Live. And I'll be honest, I have no idea whether you guys can hear me, see me. I don't know. I've been practicing, but I guess I thought once I went live, I would get it more, but I don't. There does seem to be a chat that I'm seeing. So maybe if somebody's there and you're on, you could put on that you're watching and that you can hear me and so forth. If not, I think I'm just going to keep on going and hope it works. And if not, I'll just do it live again a different time, but we'll give it a shot otherwise. So I do hope that everybody is doing okay. I know this is kind of a crazy time for us all. Some of us are hunkering down. I know that we're kind of staying as close to home as possible, not doing very much and so forth. So I'm just curious, where are you listening in from? I'm here in sunny Palm City, Florida. It's beautiful out today. My daughter went over to the beach. That's one place I told her she could go. But where are you listening from? I'd love to hear. Of course, I'm not really sure if I can see your answer, but we'll see. But put it in there, and if not, I'll go back at the end and I will definitely check it out. All right, so hold on one second here. All right, isn't that fancy? So if this is working, I'm very excited. If it's not, well, I'll figure that out. But I love how the whole platform works and looks, and it makes my lives look really pretty. Oh, yay, somebody, you're in California. It says Facebook user. I don't know who you are, but that means you can see and hear me. Okay, good. Now I can do my do my talk now that I know it's working. Thank you so much, whoever that is. I appreciate that so much. All right, so today we are going to talk, you can see up there on the screen, about 3 foods you can easily add to your diet today to reduce hot flashes during the day and night. So how many of you, I'm just curious right now, whether you're watching on the replay or live, are riding that heat wave, just all day and night, that clothes on, clothes off, on, fan off, face getting all red, all of that kind of stuff. About how many times per day do you feel like you're experiencing that right about now? Well, I don't know if you knew this, but in the Asian culture, there's actually not even a word for menopause. That, as compared to the United women in the United States, only about 7% of women in Asian countries. Now that is changing a little bit because their diets are changing, but going back years ago, only about 7% of those women would be experiencing hot flashes, as compared to 55 to anywhere upwards. They say, I've seen studies up to 75% of women in America who experience some kind of hot flashes. And so when they looked at that, a big part of that came into play was the diet. The Asian culture tends to eat more plant-based diets. Again, Western culture has gotten itself into that culture, so that is changing. But as a generality, especially with the older people, that plant-based diet is still the forefront and may be the reason why they experience less hot flashes in general. Hot flashes, as you know, and I put up that great graphic. If you didn't see it today, put it up there to kind of tells you the exactly how the hot flash works. But a hot flash is basically the result of the estrogen decline that we experience as we get older, as we hit perimenopause and menopause. And food also plays a part in affecting our hormones as well. So it kind of makes sense that if we can get be eating certain foods and avoiding certain foods, that we could maybe help support at least our hormonal health to some degree in some way. Let me get this off here for a second. Okay. So if we look to Japanese women for guidance, for foods that we want to focus on foods that are phytoestrogens. Now, I know I've got a lot of young living people who watch my videos, and so we talk about phytoestrogens in terms of essential oils. Well, foods are phytoestrogens, some are as well. And that means that they have a plant-based estrogen. They mimic estrogen to some degree in the body. It's kind of a watered down version of what's happening, but it can affect our hormones and can affect and play a role with the estrogen, but they're much weaker than the estrogens in our body. The plant-based estrogens are much weaker, so they're not going to wreak crazy havoc, but they can help support us. But you do have to be mindful and pay attention to your body, whether you're using essential oils and or foods that are phytoestrogens. You do need to pay attention to how your body is interacting with those and so forth. So some examples of phytoestrogen foods are your soybeans, like your tofu and your edamame, things like that. Chickpeas, lentils, flaxseed, grains, beans, barley, grapes. What else we got there? Berries, plums, green and black tea. All kind of examples of those phytoestrogens. But in general, soybeans, anything made from soybeans, chickpeas, excuse me, and lentils are considered to have the most powerful plant estrogens. And so, through their efforts, hopefully they can help us if we start consuming more of those products in general. So I picked 3 foods that I thought that I use personally and that I know to be helpful in terms of managing our hot flashes. And I'm going to start off with chickpeas. So I just mentioned that being one of the ones that was the highest in these phytoestrogens. And if you don't know the name chickpeas, they're also known by the name garbanzo beans. And they're just small, they're round, they're nutty in flavor, they're delish. I love them. They're kind of a little bit grainy in texture, and they go well with a lot of foods. They also contain compounds that can help your body. Now, I read this produce a natural progesterone, but they're also a phytoestrogen. I was going to go back and do a little bit more research on that when I read that, but I saw that in 2 different sources, so I definitely wanted to go and do a little bit more research on that progesterone piece, but I thought that was interesting to note. So for happy hormones and for gliding through menopause easy, you want to just consider adding chickpeas as part of a staple in your diet. So give me a hearts if or anything like that. If you guys love to eat chickpeas like I do, give me some hearts so I know if you love our chickpea girls as well. And what's your favorite way to eat them? I love them roasted. I can put them in salads. I love them in stir fries. You can mash them up and you make your own hummus. I don't know. Is there any other ways that you use them? Yeah, I don't know. Let me know. You know what? They're good staples. A lot of times you'll see them in Indian food and in Asian foods as well. So I love them in Indian foods. That's having Indian curries and stuff. I love my chickpeas, and I didn't discover them until I don't know, not relatively recently ago, but within probably the past 5 years. One day I'll tell you a whole my story about my fear of vegetables. I think there is a story behind it, but I don't even think I had like a vegetable that wasn't a pea, corn, or romaine lettuce until I was 25 years old. So definitely getting there. Good salads, but roasted sounds good. Yeah, I just tried them actually roasted for the first time the other day, and they were excellent. They're just kind of crunchy. I used them almost as a topping in something. They were delicious. I apologize, I can't acknowledge you by name. I'm going to look into it on this platform. It's just telling me that a Facebook user is saying something, but they're not giving me your name. So I do apologize that I'm not calling you by name, but I'm going to see what I can do about that. All right. So I don't know, has anybody seen that movie Sex and the City 2? I was talking about this with my 15-year-old. She loves the TV show Sex and the City, but she said the movies ruined it for her. But Sex and the City 2, not a very good movie. But you may remember Samantha Jones. She was kind of like the sex craved ones. She reverts to eating hummus by the spoonful after like 44 of her special menopause pills are confiscated as they're entering Abu Dhabi. So, so she basically starts eating all this hummus by the spoonful, she says, to keep up her natural estrogen so that she can handle her menopause and so that her libido can be on point. And so although it was funny and so forth, there's actually some truth to that. Oh, Susan, hey, thank you for watching. I appreciate that. But there is some truth to the chickpea and the hummus thing. There are two recent studies done by Hai Rong Ma and colleagues in 2013, and they looked at the potential estrogens, the therapeutic estrogens that using chickpeas can do. And they concluded that, I'm just going to read this, chickpeas are not only useful as food, they are also part of a traditional Uyghur herbal medicine. Isoflavones are the most important chemical components of chickpea seeds and sprouts. And chickpea sprouts extract may possess estrogenic activity and may be useful as a supplement to HRT and in dietary supplements. Chickpeas may help reduce frequency of hot flashes. So that's what those studies have concluded. Now, I am not a proponent of HRT, that's hormone replacement therapy. No judgment if that's your choice. Everybody has their own, but that is not something that I am a proponent of, and not something that I promote here on the Midlife Mojo page. I believe, that's kind of like the traditional route, so that's probably why they put that there, that the chickpeas can help support HRT. But in general, what I'm concluding they're saying is that the chickpeas can help support hormonal, the way that our hormones. And so we can use natural solutions for our hormonal health. And chickpeas is one of those. We can use essential oils and the chickpeas and boost them in that way. And I've got lots more videos coming up in the pipeline all about using your essential oils for your menopause and so forth. But today we're focusing on 3 foods, because I think that's something that everybody right this moment can go, well, I don't know if we can run to our grocery stores right now, but maybe in a couple of weeks, run to your grocery stores and grab and start using today. So some other excuse me, benefits of chickpeas are that they are a rich source of vitamins, minerals, and fiber. So fiber is really good for the midlife woman. And they also, that kind of help, because that fiber helps with our digestion. It may help in our weight management. I know that a lot of us struggle with our weight when we kind of hit the over 50 mark, as well as reducing our risk for several other diseases. Additionally, chickpeas are high in protein. So for people who are vegetarian or vegan, they're a wonderful source of protein, and definitely something that you should be adding in on a regular basis. Just really good, like bang for your buck. They're inexpensive. Oh, you know what? Just because I took the time to do this. Hold on one second here. How does this work? Let me see. Hold on one second. Oops, wrong one. Oops. Shh, pretend you don't see that. I'm going to finish up and I'm going to keep that on the screen. Pretend you don't see that one. All right. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Let me go back here. That's not what I was looking for, though. Hold on. I must have, oh, I know what I did. I hit delete. All right, pretend that says chickpea right there. Okay, I'll get better at this. I got to be my own producer and do it live as well. But I had a really pretty chickpea picture there that you're all going to pretend is up there. I must have just hit something funny. I think I just deleted something else too. I'm looking at my screen. Oh, well. Oh, well, that's live TV. We'll roll with it. So pretend you don't, let me hide that actually. Let me hide that for right now. We'll go back to me for right now. All right, so I'm still on the chickpeas. I do recommend, if you are going to get chickpeas, that you look for organic ones and non-GMO ones. And in April, I have a special guest on my Midlife Mojo page. Her name is Tess Chalice, and she is a plant-based chef. And she's written many cookbooks, actually. I have a couple of her cookbooks right here. I used to do a program with her and so forth. But she has an amazing recipe called chickpea chickadillas or something like that. And they use her special chicky seasoning, which uses nutritional yeast and so forth. And they are delicious. Anyways, I've got her coming on sometime this month, or excuse me, in April. She's coming on to talk to you guys all about plant-based cooking. In the meantime, if you're interested in her cookbooks, you can go to my website. I have, that I can do on here. Hold on. I'm going to use all my fancy things. You guys are look at that. Hold on. There we go. Let me see. Ha ha, I did that. See, isn't that cool? All right, so right there, you can see that crawling along the bottom of my screen there. I have this new page that I created called Midlife Mojo Must-Haves. It's basically an Amazon marketplace. And so Tessa's books are in there. And if you're interested, you can purchase her books. Just as a little, FYI, I do get a small commission, but know that that's where you can look for that kind of stuff and all the different recommendations that I have here on the page. I'm going to try, as I make recommendations, to upload them to the marketplace so that way you guys can follow through and take action and grab them. So I don't know, are you excited? Does that sound good? Like to have, to learn from a plant-based chef more how to use chickpeas and some of those other phytoestrogens that we talked about in our cooking? I'm really excited. Give me some hearts or just let me know if you're excited about that. I definitely am. So many of you guys know that I too have written a book, right? Where's my book here? No Sweat. It's Just Menopause, right? You guys have probably seen this book here. And in the book, the next two foods that I recommend I talk about in the book. And the next one being, well, I guess I can't trick you now. You got to know what the next one is right here. Right there, our Maca Powder. All right. But Maca Powder, has anybody tried Maca Powder before? Heard of Maca Powder before? I had never heard of it until I started doing my research for my book a few years ago. But what a wonderful thing to start adding to your diet. It is a Peruvian cruciferous vegetable, so sort of like comes in the family of the cauliflower, the broccoli, the kales. And the main edible part of the plant is the root, which grows underground. It exists in several different colors, ranging from white to black. And maca root is generally dried and then is consumed in powder form, but it's also available in capsules and in liquid extract. And the taste of the maca root powder is kind of earthy. Some people don't really like it. I honestly, I just throw it into food and I don't even notice it. So I don't know. I like to add it to my smoothies, to my oatmeal, my baked goods. Like I said, it doesn't seem to really make a difference in the flavor for myself in general. People talk about whether you get it raw or gelatinized. Gelatinized is what I recommend. It's just easier on your digestion. If somebody's a really big maca user and you disagree with that, let me know, because it's not something I'm like a world expert on by any chance, but just my research. From what I could see, that the gelatinized version is the easier on your digestion. So that's the version that I use, and that's in my Mojo marketplace at that you see going across the screen there, the Midlife Mojo Must Have. That's what I put those up there in there, and they're the gelatinized version. But it can help you. What it's good for is it can help you with your energy levels, and it can also help with your hormones and all of the things that we, like our hot flashes, things that we have effects when our hormones are kind of out of whack due to the menopause. Maca is rich in all the minerals you need for optimal health, as well as B vitamins. It's really important for the aging body and aging hormone production. And maca also contains 4 alkaloids that have been shown in research to nourish the endocrine glands. The endocrine glands are your hormonal glands, and therefore and so forth. So they actually have these 4 alkaloids that research has shown to do it. So I always like to say, it's not just Jill kind of saying use maca powder. There's always science behind the things that I recommend. Maca is also thought to revitalize the middle-aged and elderly physically and mentally. It's used for chronic fatigue, stress, depression. They also say that in the study I saw, safe for as a natural alternative to the HRT, to the hormone replacement therapy. So science, researchers are saying that this is a good natural replacement as well. And women report, that's the most important thing. It doesn't really matter. It matters once you've tried it. And that's what I always say, try it. It doesn't hurt, right? So women report a huge improvement when they use the maca regularly in their diet. And I've been keeping away from the smoothies lately. But when I was doing them regularly, I was regularly using the maca, and I definitely did notice a difference. I'm not getting my hot flashes. I'm kind of hopefully coming a little bit out of that stage. I don't know. They don't seem to be as bad as they had been before. I know I'm, between me using my oils and my diet and all that, I've got it relatively under control when I'm consistent. But anyways, so let me know. I mean, if reducing your hot flashes was as easy as just sprinkling a little bit of that maca powder in your food, do you think that's something that you would do? Let me know. I mean, to me, that's kind of like a no-brainer. That's just an easy thing to do. Why not? And if you've tried maca powder, let me know and how you use it as well. And then the other food that I recommend for, let me just see, because I made this picture here too. I did. Oh, there it is. Goody. All right, so hold on. So my last one, there it goes. Yay. Okay. So the other food that I highly recommend, and this is my big one, is flaxseed. I love my flaxseed. This every day I utilize flaxseed in some way. It is a phytoestrogen that we mentioned earlier when I was giving you the list of phytoestrogens. Recommend using the crushed or ground version and using the golden crushed or ground version as compared to the whole seed or the oil when we're talking about reducing the hot flashes. Now, healthy fats such as omega-3 fatty acids have shown to benefit women as they go through menopause because they may help regulate the hormones, again, helping maybe to reduce the hot flashes. And a review of a study of 483 menopausal women concluded that omega-3 supplements decrease the frequency of hot flashes and the severity of night sweats. So off topic for a moment, just because they were talking about supplements and so forth, this study helping with that because they are high in the omega-3s. I do, utilize Young Living. I share Young Living, and they do have a wonderful supplement called Omega Gies. So if you are looking for a supplement, that is one place to get it. But you can also get those omega-3s through your food. You can get it through some fatty fishes, and you can also get it through your flaxseed and some other seeds as well. The highest form, though, of phytoestrogens and omega-3 fatty acids is found in the flaxseed. So I like the bang for your buck. So I love to use my flaxseed. And as an added bonus, they are also helpful in constipation. So if that's something that you struggle with, and a lot of women over 50 do, the flax seeds can really help keep you regular. So make sure that you're using those in your food for that as well. A small preliminary study that I saw. So, studies, it wasn't a huge study, but it was a small study, showed that when women used ingested 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed daily, mixed into either their cereal, their juice, fruit, yogurt, things like that, it reduced their hot flashes in half. In half. That's crazy, right? And then in addition, it also said that 57% of their hot flashes dropped in intensity. So not only did they have less hot flashes, but the hot flashes that they did have were half as intense, or more than half as intense, less half as intense. How do you say that? You get what I mean. So you can add flax seeds to your smoothies. That's an easy way. I don't eat tuna fish anymore, but when I used to add it just right in, mix it in with the tuna fish, sprinkle it on your salads. But another way that you can do it is you can use flax seed to substitute it in your baking, and you can make a vegan egg. You can substitute the flax seed in your egg. Has anybody ever made a flaxseed egg before? Really cool. All right. Well, when combined with water, flaxseed becomes thicker in consistency. If you let it sit, it becomes real thick, and so it can basically be used in place. Kind of can get to the consistency of the eggs, and so it can be used as like a binder. It can be used as a binder in your baking, so you can substitute the eggs if you're number 1 trying to get your flaxseed in, and or 2 trying to reduce eggs. Let's say, again, if you're a vegan and trying to not consume eggs. So in a moment, I'm going to actually show you how to make a flaxseed egg. These seeds, which are filled with zinc and vitamin E, are amazing sources for the menopausal woman. So how you make a flaxseed egg is that you take your flaxseed. Here's your flaxseed right here. All right, let me hide this. I don't know if you get to see my whole screen or not. I only see it as half screen. So there we go. All right. So you get the flaxseed here. Now, unfortunately, I grabbed whatever they had on the shelf. There was not organic. I highly recommend organic in my Midlife Mojo's must-have page. I've got some organic ones there you can purchase, but this worked. Okay. It was non-GMO. So that was at least good that I got. But you're going to take your flaxseed, and this is the golden and it's brown. And you're going to use 1 tablespoon of flaxseed. So let me put this right here for a second in front of me. Okay. Just going to take 1 tablespoon of the flaxseed. Can you see what it looks like there? Okay, it's all ground right there. You're going to drop it in. Oh, you know what? I don't know. I just bought a second bag the other day. These may not even be the golden ones now that I'm looking at it. I literally grabbed whatever they had on the shelf the other day, but well, I don't even think these are the golden ones. So I'm showing you the ones that I would prefer you to use the golden ones, but these are good too. I mean, they certainly do the same thing. Okay, sorry. Anyway, so you've got your 1 tablespoon of flaxseed, and then I've already measured it out, 3 tablespoons of water. So it's 1 tablespoon of flaxseed, 3 tablespoons of water, and then you just stir it all up. Right there. Let me just kind of put it down here for a second. So I can stir it up good. And again, as I said, the longer it sits, the thicker it gets as well. So depending on how thick you want it. But let me get it a little bit. Yeah, this is good right here. Okay. I don't know if you can see this, but I want to kind of show you. But you can kind of see, right? It's not just like pouring out. It's kind of got that thicker consistency. So that's how you make a flaxseed egg. How easy is that, right? Substitute it in your cooking and baking. It's very, very cool. So who's going to go try and make a flaxseed egg, huh? How simple is that? Who's going to make one? All right, so lastly, during menopause, we're going to be trying all these new foods. I talked about flaxseed being high in fiber, chickpeas being high in fiber. Fiber is good for us, but if we don't drink enough water, it's definitely going to make problems worse in terms of constipation. Women over 50 or even over 40 tend to struggle with their water intake, and a lot of that's part of that problem. That is why they have the constipation. So you want to make sure that you're drinking enough water. Highly recommend drinking half your weight in ounces in water every day. So if you weigh 150 pounds, that's 75 ounces of water daily, and that should help keep your body nice and flushed and everything going through nice and clean. You can, also drinking water is important, because if you are somebody who is getting a lot of hot flashes during the day, you're sweating a lot, you want to replenish your body as well. If you can also add some peppermint oil to your water, and that can help reduce the give you a cooling sensation and maybe help with those hot flashes as well. The Vitality peppermint oil would be good for that. So food interacts differently with everybody's body. I said earlier, that it's really important to listen to your body, to know what's going on with your body, and to see how these foods interact with your body. So one way to do that is just to keep a journal. You can just kind of write down what you're eating and kind of how you feel afterwards, and then how you feel maybe an hour afterwards. Did they make you tired? Did they make you sluggish? Did they help you go to the bathroom? Did they stop you from going to the bathroom? All those kind of things, and just kind of get an idea for yourself, because that, to me, is the best way of learning what foods are best for us. So just to kind of quick recap here, the best 3 foods that I recommend, and not the best, but the 3 of the foods that I recommend for reducing your hot flashes are the chickpeas, the maca powder, and the flaxseed powder. And you can get them, usually a lot of times you can find them at your grocery store, but if you can't, you can go to my Midlife Mojo must-haves page, and I put them up on there. You can order through there. And I think that's it for right now. So let me know what you thought of this whole Be Live. I'm going to look back and see how it looks from your guys' end as look at, and there's the chickpeas picture. It showed up. So see, I definitely need a little practice, but I will learn it. But in general, I wanted to thank you guys for being my guinea pigs today, and I hope you learned a little bit of something, and that you join me live every Monday at 2 p.m. or watch on the replay, and invite your friends to the Midlife Mojo page so that they too can watch and learn to thrive naturally during these amazing years. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye.